Almost everyone is interested in Abu Trica's case, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, boys, they search for updates, looking at how everything unfolded back here in Ghana, with senior man, with his lawyers fighting for his case at the Gbese High Court. Because lawyers beat his Oliver Vomawo. Abu Trica was later granted bail, to go home, and from the house, he's been scheduled to come to court from time to time to seek justice for himself. But with the strong, concrete evidence FBI had against him, he wasn't able to fight it through or back here in Ghana. So yes, they sent him to the USA. Yeah, Abu Trica was extradited back to the USA to fight for his case. And we are all looking at how the U.S law system was going to deal with him, looking at how his senior man was proving stubborn in the land of Obake. And yes, yesterday he went to court. What happened? Blakk Rasta has an intel, and he detailed everything in this particular video that I'm about to show you. This is the 22 Master. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and don't forget to put the bell on post notification. So, like we said, Abu Trica is in the USA fighting for his case. As it stands now, everything is allegation. All that Abu Trica is fighting for is justice. FBI have a strong evidence against him, alleging that Abu Trica has been involved in an $8 million scam. But then Abu Trica is saying that he is innocent. On Busa and also on Free. So they went to court yesterday, and what happened? Blakk Rasta have the full details for us.
Well, Abu Trica appeared before this judge, and he asked Abu Trica, "Are you guilty or not guilty?" Abu Trica said, "I am not guilty." My brother, my sister, now this is how the case is going. Do we have a dossier? My brother, my sister, Abu Trica has up to August to finish preparing everything he has to prepare. And then in September, the case will be over. Can I tell you more? He has appeared before this judge. Abu Trica has been able to get a local lawyer right there in Ohio who is fighting his case. And upon appearing before Judge John R. Adams, he told him, "Please, I am not guilty." He said, "Okay." Now Abu Trica has up to August next month to finish filing everything. All the affidavits, everything his lawyer has to file would have to be done. And by the close of August, this case would be going into the final stages. In September, they have just 2 months. You see how speedily they want to run this? I remember we told you on this show that this case is going to be one of the speediest. We can tell you how this case is going to go. Abu Trica is going to be slapped with a lot of evidence. Evidence that is going to surprise and shock him. Some of them, he probably didn't know that this existed, that this was a crime in one way or the other. My brother, my sister, and already they're talking about $8 million American dollars. It's going to go beyond that. And after that, when Abu Trica realizes that there's so much around him, he might end up taking a plea deal. And when the plea deal is slapped on him, they might cut down the 20 years maximum that he's supposed to go in there. We are not saying he's guilty. All we are saying is that when the evidence is brought before him, he might look at it and he would agree with his lawyers to take a plea deal, like most of these guys do. And then they might sentence him to a prison term of between 10 and 14, depending on the plea deal. Abu Trica could also just go in there for just 6 months and come out depending on what he decides to agree with the cost, like Hajia for real and the rest did. If Abu Trica is ready to lead the FBI to pick up some of his other colleagues in Ghana and beyond, depending on the number, they could just let him go in for a short while and then come out. At the end of September, we would have been able to tell whether Abu Trica is taking a heavy plea deal or not. But it could end earlier, depending on what the lawyers foresee and what evidence is brought before Abu Trica. But as it stands right now, this is where we are. Abu Trica is in America. He appeared in court, my brother, my sister. Yes, and he appeared before a supposed crazy judge who everybody said should go to the psychiatric hospital in 2016, 10 years ago. But he's fought it. He doesn't like to talk. He likes to read. So every prosecutor who appears before him should be ready to write and not to talk too much. This is the judge. He has handled a lot of scam cases, and he is a judge who is as clean as the whistle. And therefore, when he senses corruption, he gets angry and is ready to put you in there. Now, the crime that Abu Trica has been slapped with or accused of is stealing from the elderly. My brother, my sister. And that is a big crime in the United States of America. In fact, prison term of 20 years with a hefty sum. There could also be a retribution where you pay all the money that you have taken and still go to jail. That is how seriously the Americans take this. They call it the abuse of the elderly and beyond. For Abu Trica, our prayer has always been one. If Abu Trica is innocent, may he walk. But if he's guilty, may he suffer more than Job. It's the black pot.
Personally, I think Abu Trica was advised by his lawyer to say he's not guilty so that they can put one or two things together to fight for his case. Yes, because he's innocent until proven guilty. Even though the FBI have a strong evidence against him, he can as well go toe-to-toe with them and then also bring in his finding to defend himself. So he's innocent until proven guilty. But then if he's proven guilty, like Blakk Rasta said, we are looking at a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Unless maybe he's offered with a plea bargain deal to, minimize his sentence. But then if Abu Trica is found guilty, I will not be sad about it because Abu Trica incriminated himself. He was looking for validation. When you see Kabako risk from Kofonchain, oh boy, now we try bloggers for car. Mamuba ufie be postu cast one kasa usika waje na upost na the twabonten we ade a wo ho no ma ese wo de ye adusuade kese e ma wo ho oye boy na wo ho no na o gemi na o diska kaka senior. Have a roadmap on how you want to use the money wisely. So they won't go back to the vulnerable people to take their hard-earned money. Oji kakana si skani bi fiskani bi eye investment si wo fa wo esie because a lot of questions will come towards you, and these questions will later reflect on the internet, helping the FBI to track you down. Wankasa bloggers for now utwi amuka ema mo post no FBI for your information if am nchen. You cannot trust a blogger. You cannot trust a media person. Abu Trica aduwe ya waye wo ho no ma oye boy na afi na wo ba so na wo so dada fa ye adusuade kese ema wo ho o siensa so mu ni ebusa wo say proof where you accumulate your wealth e be di ama wo Ghana buy ndi ye mfi wo betimi nya osika e do pesa wo di ye bia wo hanom ye mfi hanom ye investigative neso be bia akoko jiska no free no e be track you down because of the international law that permits you to be extradited if you are found guilty. And obi di sha aban ni say adena aban ema ho kwan ema ye chechi ye nkofo ma mo kwa brochi ema mo kokodi amasem adenti na eze banisa na mebisa say adena nu kwan se banisa ko banisa Ghana aban ama ho kwan ama ya mfa senkofo wi emfro man mu ankwa wo da American dream wo da abrochi dream ni say da chi be so otu kwan ekokwa brochi ekoko living life ekoko make life honom no okwan no esi because ema okwan ma wonko honom afi so hanom will be the hub for thieves, will be the hub for criminals. because obi anim say Ghana hanom de oba hanom na so di boni a obi no no bitu abebechi we free hanom nti ahanom eba be the hub for hardened criminals obi akokodi ne boni a ahanom na ba beswe me catch is the betterment for the nation obi di boni a when e anfo abone ne so. This is only 2 months out. Until then, peace out.